Hello, I'm Mr. Fixer from Ears Repair. Thank you for joining. In this video, I work in a call center, and I'm wondering, a lot of you out there who interact with customers on a daily basis, how many times do they have to go to a supervisor? I'm sure a lot of y'all had that. A customer a time or two that wanted to speak to a supervisor. Now, for me, I'm in customer service, and there is my team lead, that's my supervisor, and then her supervisor or their supervisor that runs the floor. Well, then it goes from my supervisor to their supervisor to their supervisor, which is the operations manager. Well, one day I got a call, and this lady was very PO'd. I mean, she was madder than a wet hen. And she was just screaming at me. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something that took place, and it was out of our control. There was nothing we could do to resolve the issue, because anything that's outside our control, there's nothing we can do. It was something that could be prevented. Yeah, we'll step in and take responsibility. But this person was wanting something for nothing. And she thought that if she worked her way up the chain, that she would finally get what she wanted. Now, of course, I can't remember what it was. I mean, the whole thing in itself was hilarious. Because I told her, we exhausted everything. I said, it's outside of her control. We don't have any control over that. That didn't stop her. She just kept on screaming. And then she's like, well, I want to talk to your supervisor. Okay. I said, I'm not sure what they're going to be able to do for you. I said, they're going to pretty much tell you the same thing I just told you. Well, you just don't have no authority. I want to talk to your supervisor right now. Okay. So I gave him my supervisor. I'm sitting there because we have to listen to the call while their supervisor's there. It's kind of like for training. So if something they can do that we didn't know about, this is how we can learn about it. Things that we can do to help de-escalate issues like this. So I'm sitting there just listening. I knew what was going on. There's nothing we can do. It's outside of our control. So I gave him my supervisor. Nothing new. It's not the first time I've had a supervisor call. And she gets over there. She gets on the call. I'm listening to the phone conversation, and she starts right in on her again. My supervisor is taking the blunt force of this woman on the phone because she's mad that she didn't get what she wanted. That we need to do more and get it for her. Well, again, my supervisor told her the exact same thing I just told him. So I'm sitting there beside my supervisor laughing. And you can hear this lady on the phone. I mean, we have these headsets that we use for our phones. This is what we use. And you can hear the lady screaming on the headsets. And everybody is looking around to see what's going on. I mean, she was being so loud. I could take my headphones off and still hear her. That's how loud she was. And she just kept on going. It got so bad that she wanted to see my boss's boss. Okay, now this is the person who's oversees the floor that I'm on. Because we had two sides. You had the computer side and the home theater side. And the supervisor that was on my side covered the whole floor. So, passed on the phone to the floor supervisor. Starts it again. I'm sitting there laughing because the whole damn thing is funny. This woman is not taking no for an answer. Will not take no for an answer. So she done went through my supervisor, my boss. Now they're trying to go through her boss, her supervisor, who has control of the floor. So we're sitting there listening in for 5-10 minutes. Here we go. We're repeating the same exact thing that I just told the lady. She's just not going to take no for an answer. And you can still hear her. I'm surprised this woman did not lose her voice during the conversation. She just get tired of being told no. We can't do that. Outside of our control, we can't do that. And kept going and kept going. Well, finally, she doesn't like that supervisor's answer. She requested to see their supervisor. So let's see. First, they wanted to talk to my supervisor. They didn't like their answer. They went to their supervisor, who was on the floor. They didn't like their answer. So the next person they went to was the operations manager. Now, in the years that I've done customer service, I've never had a call go as high as the operations manager. It's almost like having a district manager. For the whole entire site. I've never had a call go that high. And they're wanting to know what I did. Nothing. They explained everything. The supervisors above me says, hey, he did everything he could. I mean, this woman just is not taking no for an answer. And they know from my years of experience for working there, I'm pretty sure what a supervisor is going to do and what they're not going to do. So I have a choice on whether or not to pass them on to the supervisor or not. Now, sometimes if they insist, I'll do it anyways, just so they can feel that power of talking to a supervisor, because they think the supervisor is going to do something I can't. 9 times out of 10, they can't. But this call went to the operations manager. The next step would probably have been the district manager or something. I don't know. They run the whole entire building. And it went to them. Well, they couldn't believe it. They're like, wait a minute. He doesn't have these supervisor calls. Why are they coming to me? And I look, I had nothing to do with it. I took the call. They didn't like my answer. They wanted my supervisor. They didn't like their answer. They went to the floor supervisor. Didn't like their answer. And then they went to the OM, operations manager. They didn't like it. And it finally went to the site director. Okay, now, site director is the bigwig. They have control of everything that we do in the building. Even on other sites, they have control. I never had calls go up that high. Never. This lady just was not going to take no for an answer. And I don't know about you out there, if you deal with customers or if you're an actual supervisor for your company, uh, I'm sure you've probably had experience where customers, there's nothing you can do, it's beyond your control. How often is it that a customer can go above the floor supervisor? I mean, how often do they go to the operations manager, site director, things like that? I mean, this will I can't I wish I could remember what it was about, but the whole thing was just funny because she went through 3 supervisors. And the OM is not the person who talks on the phone. The OM is pretty much just controls the floor, controls all the supervisors under them. That's about it. And the one above them is like the site director. They do everything that's on the site. And I couldn't believe it. That was the experience that I had. I've had soup calls. Most of them I was able to de-escalate, which, we owe up to it. Some of them, they just weren't satisfied, so they wanted to speak to my boss. It happens. But that woman, I swear, she... oh, man, she was madder than an Amish electrician. It was bad. And that was the only time that I've ever had a soup call go that high up the chain. I mean, she had some ruffled feathers. And she finally just gave up and hung up. And I haven't heard from her again. And thank God. But hey, that's what happens when you get a soup call. No, I never wanted the supervisor position. Not when I have to deal with people like her. No way. But hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. It was great. This is the type of calls that I get once in a blue moon. But thank you for watching. I'm your host, Mr. Fix-It. Stay tuned. Be sure to click on that like button. Make sure to help support the channel and the video. Also be sure to check your subscribe button. And be sure to click on that notification bell so you'll notify whenever I upload a new video. We all have a good night. Take care.